DVZ gang, what's happening, y'all, and welcome back to some more reaction videos. I know it's been a minute. I've been having some problems with my phone. If you guys don't know, I record all this stuff on my phone because I'm a little broke and I can't afford a PC right now. But anyway, we're going to go right ahead and react to some of these stories. Now, as you're watching this is the same day that I recorded the story time animations with the school lockdown and all that other stuff. I'm not sure which one I posted first, but if you don't know yet, I don't know if I posted Remothered yet because it was supposed to come out on this day, but it didn't come out yet, so I'm still waiting for it. But as soon as it comes out, I will go ahead and get that video out as soon as possible for you guys. But we're going to go right ahead and get right into this video. Hey guys, is cool with that? Go ahead, fluff the pillow, grab the snacks, get the snack. Okay, well, put it in your mouth. Put it in your mouth. Go ahead.
Open your mouth.
Yeah, do that, and then go ahead, just kick back, relax, and let's get right into it. Let's go. Okay, so first video we have for today comes from a channel called Storytime Animated. Now, we did react to this channel before, and they had some good stuff. I had to keep watching. I just really did. They had some really nice stuff. So the first video we're about to react to today is called I Am Allergic to Girls.
Huh?
Now, I don't know what a life would be like if Larry Brown, if you don't know, that's my last name, but if Larry Brown was allergic to girls, I don't know how life would be like. I think I would have to, like, I don't know. I actually would not know because I love girls. So I can't imagine what this man went through. But we're going to go right ahead and see what he did. Now, all the links and everything is in the description as usual. Go ahead and make sure you check out their channel out. That is Storytime Animated. So let's go right ahead and get right to it. Let's go.
Be on your best behavior. Eat the veggies I packed for you. And remember, stay away from girls, my dad said to me on my first day of kindergarten. I've lived alone with my dad for as long as I can remember. Since I could understand English, he brainwashed me to become hateful toward girls. He'd say things like, "Bernie, listen to me. Girls are gross and carry many diseases. If you talk to girls, you will become dumb. Girls are disgusting and should be avoided at all times. They're also super boring and scared of everything." I idolized my father and wanted to become just like him. After all, he was the only parent I had. He was my only role model, so I listened to everything he said. I spent most of my school life avoiding girls. All of my friends were boys, and if a girl even said hi to me, I'd tell her to get lost. Eventually, they all thought I was rude and unapproachable, so they left me alone anyway. Years later, it was time to start high school. On my first day, my father gave me the usual lecture about avoiding girls at all costs.
He got to remind you every
I assured
day?
him that I'd listen, and that he had nothing to worry about. Everything was going well that day until this girl named Annie came up to me smiling.
Okay.
"Hey, you're kind of cute. What's your name? Can I have your number?" she said. "Ew, get the hell away from me, you disgusting creature."
I'm done. I almost broke my freaking headphones, bro. I'm done. Are they broke? Oh my god, bro.
Eventually.
Like, it's one thing to, like, actually no, it's not one thing to be like that. It's not, okay? This is a girl approaching you. You know what I'm saying? This is a female. Like, this is so rare. Well, not for me. I mean, females be approaching me. Not to brag or anything. I'm not trying to brag, but like, they be approaching me. But like, not often. But this is rare sight to see for a man. The fact that a woman came to you. That's just, and you just shot her down. Now, I'm not even gonna lie. And let me know if I'm wrong for this. But I usually don't talk to girls when they approach me first. I used to, but now I don't anymore because I don't trust females. They always have an agenda. They always have a hidden agenda that you're not so sure about. I mean, yeah, like sometimes they'd be like, "Okay, you're cute. I just want to talk to you," but it usually don't go like that sometimes. Like, I watch a lot of movies and everything. It's always like the girl's trying to, like, get money or like some type of, she's trying to sabotage the man's life, and I never trust it. So I never answer my DMs for girls and everything. I ain't gay, but it's just, It's just how I go. Let me know if that sounds weird, but I've just seen too many stories of like when a girl approaches a guy, it's always something bad happening and everything. And I just never trusted. I never trusted. So
She looked crushed, but I didn't care. A few minutes later, 2 guys came up to me. Dude, what is wrong with you? Annie is like the hottest girl at this school. One of them
talk to
laughed.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd kill for a chance like that. It's
You guys
only your
from brothers?
first day and a beautiful girl asks for your number, and you call her disgusting? What is your problem? Have you ever had a girlfriend before? The other one added. No. My dad says they're gross and I should avoid them, I replied. They laughed so loud.
Why would you say that? I don't know how old you are at this time, but obviously it looks like you're in high school. Hold on. Even boy in the back. Is that another guy? I don't even know. I think it's another guy. I'm not sure. Forgive me if I don't know. I just don't know. I'm pretty sure it's a girl. The one in the yellow shirt. I'm pretty sure it's a girl. Even guy in the back. They just getting play. Why are you the only? No, never mind. Never mind. Go ahead,
That
continue.
everyone turned around to look at us. My daddy says girls are gross, they mocked while they walked away. Hey, I'm sure your daddy made you all by himself too, huh? They continued laughing. That night, I thought about what
He could
happened.
be adopted.
I tried to remember what Annie's face looked like, and I decided that she actually was really pretty. She had long brown hair and lovely, mesmerizing green eyes. She also had a beautiful smile.
Alright.
I started
Think
to
about
question
it.
all my dad had told me. Were girls really as bad as he said they were? Could they really be harmful? I
Nah.
decided to search for her online and
Well-
send her an apology. It wasn't too hard because we had mutual friends. I typed,
Full stalker.
Hi Annie, I'm sorry for how I treated you today. I hope you can forgive me. She replied almost instantly, It's okay, I forgive you. You're lucky you're cute.
Hey yo,
If
hey
you
yo,
weren't-
yo, yo, yo. So like, I know since like social media is like taking over the time now. Like when y'all look at girls' profile pictures or whatever, do y'all ever like? Cause like when y'all slide in girls' DMs and everything, or this will go to guys. This will go to other girls too. This go all genders, all right. But do y'all ever like look at their pictures and be like, okay, he's cute or she's cute, and then you look at the comments, you be like, okay, she got hella niggas just like commenting on her pictures or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Or you'd be like, okay, she's tagged in this. Like, what do y'all do? Because that's what I do. That's what I do. I gotta make sure she in the clear.
I'd block you, she said. I blushed. This was an odd feeling I had never experienced before. I had never felt anything close to affection for a girl. Was I changing? During the next
Getting a
few
little
weeks, I
affection.
continued talking to Annie online, but I avoided her at school. I still didn't feel too comfortable being near girls, so I did my best to stay away from her, although she always tried to bump into me. One of the guys who laughed at me on my first day eventually noticed and came to laugh at me again.
It's alright. You just need
If
to
you keep
adjust.
avoiding
This
her,
is time.
she's going to stop liking you. You need to step up your game, he said and walked away nodding his head. I thought about this for a while
Wait,
and
not something
decided
like
that
that.
he was probably right. I
He
needed
is
to be
right.
brave enough to talk to her in person. I sent her a
Fuck.
text message and asked if she'd like to hang out the next day. She replied, yes. Before I continue, I must ask a question. Have you
What you
always
got?
dreamt of having your crush ask you out? Like my video and subscribe to this channel, and he or she will. It really works.
What?
The next day, we met up at
Actually, listen. I'll give you guys a timestamp to like skip to if you don't want to hear the story. But listen, I do have a story today. So right, listen. It was my 8th grade year, and we had about like less than 90 kids in my class. Class of like what was it, 2015, and we just had like not that many good looking girls. So I basically was waiting until high school. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what good looking girls actually looked like. So then this new girl came along. It was like, I don't know, maybe in the beginning of the year or something, and she looked good. Okay, she did, but I used to always text her, just give her attention, all that other stuff. But she noticed that though. She noticed that, and like she fed on it. She just wanted all the attention. You know what I'm saying? That's all she wanted. So that's all she just just kept prying from me and everything. And then like my friends was noticing, they was like, yo, Larry, like you need to stop. You're getting so caught up and everything. Like you're trying to get this girl to talk to you, or you're trying to get this girl to like you, and you need to stop. I'm just like, bro, no, stop. I know what I'm doing. I got this. I didn't know what I was doing. But then it came to a point in time where we was getting into like a little fight or whatever, and we kind of like stopped talking for a little bit, and like I told my friends in this like little group chat that we did, and then so when we did, I told them in this group chat I said something that I should have never said. I'm not repeating it, but yeah, later then yeah they was like, oh my god, why would you say that? It wasn't bad, but to her it would have been bad, but I don't feel like explaining it. But then again, a couple days later, actually no, not even a couple days later, a day later we started talking, but we got like stronger together. You know what I'm saying? It's like we grew like a deeper relationship. You know, like she kept talking to me like in a flirty way and like in a more than friendly way. So I'm thinking to myself like, oh my god, I'm getting out the friend zone type stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then like she said to myself, she said to me, she was like when you go to school tomorrow, I have something I would ask you. And I was just like, oh snap. She want to ask me, because usually it only means one thing. You know what I'm saying? That only means one thing. If she wanted me to ask something to me in person. So I got hyped. But then later on in the day, she found out what I said. Somebody snitched in my group chat. Somebody snitched. I forget who it was, because there's like 12 people in there. I don't know who it was. But she found out and she got mad and everything. But eventually she forgave me and everything. And then I saw her the next day in school. I was like, so would you have to ask me? And she was like, oh, it's too late now. Never mind. I was just like, oh my God. Like, I had it. If I would have never said that thing, my dreams would have came true. But I got caught up so much. But that person made me a stronger person. So I do thank her for that. But
School gate and walked out together. I decided we could just go to a nearby ice cream shop and maybe hang out in the park afterwards. You look really pretty today. I'm sorry I took so long to ask you out. I guess I'm a bit shy.
Hey, look how her mouth open.
She smiled and replied, I realized. I just let you take your time. We were having an enjoyable stroll when suddenly I heard a car honk loudly. Bernie, what do you think you're doing walking next to a girl? Are you out of your mind? The voice of my father growled. I turned around and my father was right there, driving behind us. Get in the car now, he screamed. I bowed my head in shame. I was too embarrassed to even say goodbye to Annie. I just got in the car and my dad sped off.
Does he want his son to be gay or something?
All night. But to make it worse, I couldn't stop throwing up. I was really sick. While my father was ranting, I had to get up several times to go to the bathroom.
I can't look at this.
I'd come back, he'd scream some more, and I'd have to go back to the bathroom to continue throwing up. I had no idea what was wrong with me. I hadn't eaten anything bad, and my dad wouldn't shut up about how I betrayed his trust. It was the worst night of my life. The next day, I tried to talk to Annie, but she was really angry. She didn't want to have anything to do with me. I tried to explain that I was embarrassed, and I wanted to apologize for not saying goodbye, but she didn't care.
It took a while,
but after a few weeks, I was over Annie. I had spotted a new beauty in my gym class. Her name was Kaylee. I finally gathered the courage to sit next to her in the cafeteria at lunch one afternoon. Hi, I'm Bernie. I think you're really beautiful, I said. My name's Kaylee. What do you like to do for fun? She replied. We were having a light, interesting conversation when I suddenly broke out into hives all over my body. The marks were so red and itchy, and I had no idea what could have caused them. While I was scratching my arms like a crazy person, I felt a sharp pain in my stomach.
Don't tell me he's actually allergic to girls. Oh my
god, this man's throwing up. The table. Kaylee looked horrified. She got up and ran out of the room. I was very confused about why my body was reacting that way. I went to the school nurse and she told me I should rest for a while and then go home when I felt strong enough to. After school, I still wasn't feeling any better, so I called my dad and asked if he'd pick me up. While he drove me home, I had many questions.
He in the middle of the street, driving
do I need to go to a hospital? I don't understand what my problem is, I said. No, you're fine. You don't need to see a doctor. I know what's wrong, he replied. What do you mean you know what's wrong? I said. What were you doing when you started feeling sick today? He asked. Well, okay, please don't get mad, but I was talking to a girl, Kaylee. She's really pretty. You've got to understand that I'm a teenager and that it's normal for me to start being attracted to girls now, I said.
Hey, friendly guys.
Surprisingly, he didn't scream at me. He calmly said, and the time before that, What had you been doing before you came home and started throwing up all over the place? You're exaggerating, Dad, but I was walking with Annie, I replied.
Dang,
Right. There's a
two
reason I've
girls.
tried to make you hate girls. Nothing is wrong with them, really. Women are pretty, funny, and great overall. But Bernie, you're allergic to girls, he said. How can that be possible? I've never heard about that type of allergy before. Are you trying to be funny? I replied. It's true. I noticed on the day you were born, in the hospital, whenever a female nurse came near you, your expression would change and you'd start crying. You'd also break out into odd rashes. You had the same reaction to your mother. This is why I raised you alone. She agreed to leave you with me for your sake. You just can't be around girls or women. I could have sent you to an all-boys school, but I wanted to check if being around girls would help to build your immunity. It didn't, obviously. You've just got to continue avoiding them if you want to remain healthy, he said. None of this made any sense to me, and I was so devastated.
Wow.
I'd never be able to get married, have children, or enjoy my life the way I'd like to. I decided that I needed to find a solution. What did I do? What everyone does when they're sick. Dr. Google to the rescue. The first few web pages were about dealing with allergy symptoms and learning to live with them. However, as I scrolled further, I came across a sinister but interesting website. It was run by a man who called himself Sorcerer Blaze. He claimed to have the cure for every disease imaginable. I clicked on his introductory...
Okay, listen. There's a couple red flags right here. Number one, why would you trust a guy named Sorcerer Blaze? Number two, you're just stupid. Why would you... Never mind. Go ahead. Continue. Go ahead.
...video and was intrigued. Do you have a mysterious ailment which no one understands? Do you want to live a normal, peaceful, and happy life?
Oh my God.
Have you been told by others that this would be impossible to achieve?
Oh my God.
What if I told you that you could have anything you wanted? I have the cure you're looking for. Contact me, Sorcerer Blaze, and you will have no regrets.
I dare you
I
contact
read
him.
through
I dare
hundreds
you
of
to.
testimonials
I
and
dare you.
reviews written by people who claimed he had cured them.
They
I
can
felt
be
like I
fake
had
people,
no other
be
option,
fake accounts.
so I clicked the Contact Me button and told him about my situation. A few minutes later, I received a reply. Young man, do not lose hope. Sorcerer Blaze has a solution. Please come to my office tomorrow at 3 p.m. Do not be late. Walk with $50. A map was provided with a message, and luckily, he was only a few miles away. The next day, I pretended to go to school, but took a bus to find this strange man. The bus ride was long, and it was difficult to find Sorcerer Blaze's office, but I eventually did. Before I could knock on the door, it burst open. Bernie, I've been expecting you, he said. He was shorter than I expected and dressed in a black and purple cape. I thought he looked ridiculous, but I kept those thoughts to myself. He invited me in and asked me to sit down. I already prepared a special enchanted ointment for you, he said while handing me a large pink bottle.
So he just knew the ingredients already.
You must drink 1 cup of this. He then handed me a small blue bottle. Rub this all over your skin twice a day. Any questions? He smiled. That's it? Just 2 bottles of this stuff? And
I have a question. How the hell did you know the proper ingredients for this actually to work? That's what my question is. And where is your certificate? When you always go into a doctor's office, it's always that annoying doctor that has to have the certificate on the wall. Be like, oh, my certificate's right here. It's always that annoying doctor. It's always that. So you say you're a doctor. I don't see no certificate. I don't know where you graduated from, but...
Be able to have a girlfriend? I asked. Yes. Now, where's my $50? He said. I paid him quickly and left. I couldn't believe it was that simple. I was going to be cured. As soon as I got home, I gulped down 1 cup of the pink substance. At first, I felt fine. Then, while I was having dinner with my dad, I started experiencing excruciating stomach cramps. Ouch! I screamed.
Ugh.
Son, have you been talking to girls again? My dad asked. No, I whispered, then I passed out. I woke up in the hospital, and my dad was holding the 2 bottles I got from Sorcerer Blaze. What is this? He asked. I told him everything. Apparently, that afternoon after I left, Sorcerer Blaze was arrested for fraud.
Damn,
he had
that
been
fast?
responsible for poisoning almost 20 other people in our state. Luckily, I reached the hospital just in time for them to pump all the poison out of my stomach. Now, I continue to avoid girls in person, but I've met a few gamer girls while playing video games. They're pretty fun and interesting to talk to. So for now, my relationships are virtual, and I'm fine. But I hope they find a cure for my problem very soon.
Oh, he's trying to get his Mac on. He's trying to talk to these girls. Alright, I see you, buddy. I see you, buddy. Okay, last video for today we have from the same channel, Storytime Animated. The name for this channel is called My Secret Tattoo Ruined My Life. Now, as you can see, I have tattoos. I have my whole chest done, and I have one on the back of my arm. I eventually want to have my whole body not my whole body, like just both my arms and my ribs and maybe my legs, not all my legs, but I love tattoos. But I don't know how this man's tattoo. I can't imagine how a tattoo could ruin your life. Well, I mean, yeah, unless you get something explicit like a gun, or like nudity or something. It depends, or like hate crime or something. But let's see how this man was. But like I said from the beginning, all links to these videos is in the description, so check them out. Alright, let's go.
When I started high school, I was going through a very hard time. My family was broke. We lived in a tiny apartment, all sleeping in the same room and eating fast food every day because it was all we could afford. My mom and dad fought every...
Wait. That's not even... That's illegal. I think that is, because I'm pretty sure... I'm not sure if it's my state or if it's actually all of the U.S., but you can't have like all your children or all your siblings, and I'm pretty sure the mom and the dad too, in the same room. Cause I know once when the children hit a certain age, they can't be in like the same room with each other. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be way different if like the parents is all in the same room. So I don't know if that's illegal or not.
Day because of the situation. I'm the eldest of my siblings, so it was my job to take care of them while my parents argued. I had so much anger pent up inside me, and the only outlet for it I had was school.
Oh, you the quiet kid.
Before the story continues,
you the quiet
I'd
kid.
like to remind you to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss out on any stories. I used to argue with teachers out loud, yelling because they sent homework. I used to lose my cool on anyone, so people avoided me, and others mocked me because of my anger issues.
Oh, he ain't
I was
so quiet.
super unhealthy at the time because I didn't eat well, so despite my large build, I was pretty weak, and people took advantage of this. All the rich kids who played sports and had time to work out made fun of me, and when I got mad, they beat me up. I hated school, but I hated being at home too. I think that's why I walk to and from school every day, often taking
Why you walk
detours
like
in order to
that?
take longer to reach both possible destinations. Sometimes I walked home alone at night, and one time I had an encounter that changed my life for the better, at least for the duration of high school. I was walking home one foggy night when I had a feeling I was being followed. I turned a corner, and as I turned, I snuck a peek behind me. From the corner of my eye, I managed to see a group of men. I was afraid I was about to get mugged because they wouldn't find anything of value on me and would probably just end up hurting me, so I sped up my walk. I turned another corner in hopes of losing them, but I saw there was one man missing from the group now. I kept
Oh my
walking,
God.
and suddenly the missing man popped up in front of me. He towered over me, and in a raspy voice, he asked me, "What's your name, kid?" I responded, "Noah." He motioned towards his group, and a guy my age came and stood next to him. The tall guy said, "My name is Theo. This is my little brother, Zach." I nodded at Zach slightly.
Alright, well, it's not a
I had
play
seen
date,
him around
Zach.
school. He was a quiet kid in my grade. I
The
looked
quiet
at
kid.
Theo one more time and realized he was a senior at my school. "You remind me of my brother," Theo said. "We want to help you out, kid." I asked him what he wanted to help me with, suspicious that they were still going to mug me, but he said he and Zach went through the same with their families. "I handled it well, but Zachy here handled it just like you," Theo said.
What video did I click on? Wait, did I click on the right video? What does this have to do with a tattoo?
Zach told me everything he and Theo went through. Now, I don't recommend doing what I did, because guys like Theo and Zach are rare, but I didn't care much what happened to me at that point, so I followed them to an abandoned building. I'm not sure what I expected, but I definitely didn't expect a second family. 3 years later, I walked
You
into
don't know
school
what to
ready
expect for
to
the
start
panic
my
building. Oh,
senior
never mind.
year. Zach was next to me. We were both much taller than in freshman year, and thanks to Theo, I had really gotten my act together. If he ever saw me with unhealthy food in my hands, he would snatch it and toss it in the bin. If he
That's
saw
your
me
mom?
slacking off when I was meant to be doing schoolwork, he'd smack the back of my head and tell me to focus. He trained Zach and I in boxing 4 times a week minimum. How did I repay him? Loyalty. At lunch that day, Zach and I sat at our usual table.
Why are these
We
guys so
needed to
ripped?
discuss some things where people couldn't hear. So the far end of the cafeteria, away from everyone else, was perfect. I leaned closer to Zach and asked him, "You got rid of it, right?" To which he responded, "Yeah, of course." I sighed in relief. We had messed up a job the night before and taken something we shouldn't have. You see, the loyalty I repaid Theo with was to the gang. Our gang was called the Robins, after Robin Hood. Zach and Theo's father was scammed by some sketchy politicians, which is why they were broke, like my parents. So Theo got revenge on that man by leaking information on his crimes. The man was thrown in jail, but it wasn't enough for Theo. He realized from a young age how corrupt many people in power in our city were. He couldn't take all of them down himself, so he called upon some trustworthy friends and formed the Robins. When the time came,
What does that have to do with your
Zach joined,
tattoo?
and they recruited me when they noticed I was going through a similar thing. The ceremony to join the gang felt like diving headfirst into a movie. I earned my place in the Robins,
Ooh.
got a code name, and was rewarded with my tattoo when I was old enough. Every member had an R tattooed on the inside of their upper arm in Gothic font. I wanted to show it off to everyone I knew,
is
but I
so
knew that if I did that,
dumb. That is so dumb. That is really, really dumb. I like gangs are really stupid when they do stuff like that. When they have like a tattoo on a specific, I can't even talk, on a specific spot of their body, or just like, you know, the same symbol on their body or whatever. Because if you commit a crime or anything, it's easy to see that tattoo and they go be like, oh, it was that gang. But you know what? Never mind. Just, I'm guessing he got ink poisoning or something. It's probably like some like, you know, some creepy guy doing his tattoo. It probably was that. So you gotta really make sure like where you get this tattoo from. You know, just make sure you just, you know, check out the reviews and all that stuff, because, you know, that stuff can really, you know, damage your body and everything.
any enemies lurking in the shadows would attack. Zach checked his watch and gave me a nod. We went out into the almost empty hallway just in time. A few police officers walked in and went straight to the principal's office. 2 minutes later, they were leading our handcuffed principal back to their car. He was kicking and screaming, but very few people actually saw it. I was proud to see another creep exposed. That night, we snuck into school, disguised from head to toe, and spray painted an R onto the principal's office door.
Ooh,
The
y'all
city
so
was
bad.
full of R's. It was our way of letting people know the Robins had taken care of another criminal in power. A few days later, I was sitting with Zach on the bleachers next to the basketball court. We sat there whenever we had a free period because it was usually quiet. But this time, the basketball team was practicing.
What are you doing? What stress is this? What stress
People
is this?
know the Robins had taken care of another criminal
What
in
stretch
power.
is this? Hold
A
on.
few days
wait,
later,
wait,
I was sitting
wait,
with Zach on the bleachers next to
wait,
the basketball court.
wait,
We sat there
wait,
whenever we had a
wait,
free period
wait,
because it was
wait,
usually quiet.
hold on.
But this
What are y'all doing? I'm about to. What stretch is this? Please, someone tell me. Maybe my school does things differently, but I don't know if you gotta do the stanky leg in order to like to just get a proper stretching. I don't know.
the basketball team was practicing.
The
The basketball team was really annoying. They also happened to be the kids who made fun of me when I was younger. Zach and I watched them play for a while, and then one of the players tripped and fell flat on his face. I chuckled, but Zach burst out laughing. His laugh echoed through the gym. I saw the team captain turn to glare at him. The team started marching toward us, ready to start some trouble. So I stood up while Zach was still laughing and clutching his stomach next to me. The team captain shouted from the bottom of the bleachers, "Why don't you come over here and laugh to our faces?" I calmly crossed my arms and said to him, "No need for that. Go back to playing your little game." I swear I saw a vein popping in his forehead. He challenged me to a match to see if I could beat him at his game, which I wasn't gonna accept. But Zach stood up, slapped his hand on my shoulder, and said, "He can run laps around you, dum-dums." So I kinda had to accept.
Oh, he's one of those
After
friends.
school, we went back to the court for the game. It was one-on-one, which was fine by me, but then they told me that to play, I needed to wear their uniform. Their sleeveless uniform. Zach gave me a panicked look and mouthed the word no. But I nodded towards the first aid kit on the wall, and he understood what I was going to do. I came out of the
patch
locker
up,
room in
okay.
the stupid uniform. I had a bandage wrapped tightly around my upper arm to cover my tattoo. I looked over at Zach on the bleachers, and he gave
Wait, so
me
they're
a
not allowed
thumbs
to
up.
have tattoos
The
in
gym
school?
doors opened, and people started flooding in.
Damn,
The
where all these
bleachers
people
were
come
now
from?
full, but it didn't fluster me. I knew I could beat anyone on the team. I did run laps around the team captain like Zach said I would. I scored a bunch of times, many more than him, and he only got angrier and angrier. He played more aggressively, so I had to run faster. After a few minutes, we were both sweating.
Oh, it depends how fresh your tattoo is too. I don't know how fresh it is because all that contact, all that sweat you're gonna get, it's gonna be nasty. That's not gonna like mess up the tattoo and anything, but like it's gonna hurt. It's gonna
Didn't
hurt.
notice, but my bandage began to slip. The time was
shit.
almost up, and I wanted to make one more shot. I jumped, scored, and hung from the hoop with one arm.
So
I
this
turned
this
and
man
saw-
can dunk. This man can dunk. He can do anything right now. He can do anything. Why don't you go ahead and enter into the draft while you're at it?
Crowd shocked. I was a bit offended, thinking they doubted I'd win. But then I saw Zach getting up and running towards me. I let go of the hoop, and then I saw my bandage on the floor. Everyone had seen my R tattoo. Everyone knew I was a Robin. Zach dragged me out of the gym. "You had to get cocky, didn't you? Do you have
put him
any
in the
idea what you just did?" He yelled at me. I had never seen Zach that angry. He reached for something in his pocket, but I ran out before seeing what it was. I ran all the way home. How could I have been so stupid? Number one rule, always have your tattoo covered. But I just had to prove I was better than those jocks, didn't I?
Well, I mean, your
smacked
friend
myself
put you in
the
that
forehead
situation.
because I knew what this meant. I knew they would come for me. I grabbed a few things, then
Who's they?
quickly scribbled 2 notes. One of them was for my family, and the other was for anyone who came looking for me. I
Why
needed
does
them
he
both
walk
to
like
know I
that?
wasn't coming back. I spent months on the road. I ditched my cell phone in a forest an hour away from the city, and then drove in the opposite direction. I was running from 2 different groups. I knew the gang would try to get rid of me. They couldn't afford me getting caught and exposing everyone involved with the Robins. It was too dangerous. I also knew that all the criminals we threw behind bars probably had wanted posters with my face on them. I was the only known member of the Robins. They would definitely hunt me down. I had my route traced on a map. I found the most remote places, and that is where I went. My next stop was an abandoned hotel on a mountainside. I drove up the bumpy dirt road until I reached a path that I couldn't drive through. I marched on as quietly as I could, waiting for the tiniest sound to indicate someone was there. But all I could hear were crickets. The entrance was locked, so I looked around until I found a broken window that had been boarded up. I managed to squeeze through the gap.
Damn, how much
It
longer is the
was
story?
pitch black inside the hotel. I had some matches on me and found a dusty candlestick on the floor. I tiptoed around the place to make sure it was empty. The great dining hall was well lit, which surprised me a lot. There was a big chair facing away from me. A knife was being tossed and caught by a hand on the armrest. A figure then turned around. It was Theo. I expected him to try to hurt me, like Zach did, but he approached me calmly and threw the knife onto a table. "That was a dumb move, kid," Theo said. "You could have gotten yourself killed." I collapsed onto a chair and just closed my eyes. I said, "I don't know what to do." I felt Theo grab my shoulder. He
Why
said
are
he
you
had
touching
always
him all
seen
the
me as a
time?
little brother, so he was gonna do to me what he would do for Zach if he was in my situation. He grabbed a small suitcase from underneath the table. An hour later, I looked much different. Theo shaved my head and gave me contact lenses to change my eye color. He also gave me a fake bushy beard. My arm hurt because Theo tattooed a panther, my code name in the gang, over my R tattoo. He walked me towards the window I came in through.
Why
He
you
handed me
walk
some
like
papers and said, "Plane ticket and new identity." I was about to leave, but I just had to ask, "Theo, how did you find me?" He chuckled and said, "Your car is bugged, kid. I put cameras everywhere." Everything I learned with the Robins helped me when I arrived in Italy. I wasn't going to make the same mistakes again. In my new gang, we don't have tattoos, and we leave no one wanting revenge.
Y'all some weirdos. But anyway, that's gonna go ahead and wrap up this video of reacting to these stories. Now, if you guys want me to go ahead to react to some more stories, make sure you go ahead, leave a like. But until next time, hey. Don't forget the channel. Don't forget the channel. Alright? Deuces.